Good morning, students. This is Anjali, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, AIML, IARE, Hyderabad. Today's our topic is communicating data. In previous class, we have seen that the Simpson's paradox. In Simpson's paradox, what happened? Actually, we have seen the two conditions, and on the basis which condition is satisfying, which condition is giving particular output. So, on that basis, we have seen the Simpson's paradox. They have checked the variable, different variable, and we have checked the result on the different variable by using the Simpson's paradox. So, we will go one by one. First, we will see contents. The contents are communicating data. Second, why does communication matter? Then third one, communicate data-driven insights internally. We will see one by one. Communicating data. The communication is a process that involves sending and receiving messages through the verbal and non-verbal methods. Actually, communication is a very familiar word for us. So, just in general, if we want to say that communication is the exchanging of the message from one source to another source. So here also the communication generally is involving that only sending and receiving the messages in the form of the verbal or non-verbal. Actually, communication is two-way means of communicating information in form of thoughts, opinions and ideas between two or more individuals with the purpose of building an understanding. Actually, communication is we can say that it is two-way communication, and that communication can contain the information like thoughts, then opinion, ideas, and these things we can exchange between the one source to another source. We can share our ideas, we can share our thoughts by using the communicating methods. The communicating data is simply a special case of communicating in general, a one that incorporates quantitative statements about the universe. So, this communication in general, we can say the communication is a two-way communication technique, sharing of the information in two-way. We are sharing thoughts, we are sharing opinions, we are sharing the ideas, and on that basis, communication is communicating data is only the special case of the communicating. Actually, we are not using a word or data. The general sense of factual information, but in the more specific sense of information in numerical form that can be digitally transmitted or processes one and zeros in databases, spreadsheets and tables. We can say that this is a factual information. That factual information sometimes contain the numerical form, and that numerical form data can be stored in the databases, spreadsheets and in the form of the tables. Now, why does the communication matter? Being able to conduct experiments, manipulate data in coding language is not enough to conduct practical and applied the data science. This is because data science is generally only as good as how it is used in the practice. Definitely, the communication with the help of the conducting experiments, with the help of the manipulating the data, we can communicate. It can use the data science. It is using data science. And by using this, we are using the data science as continuously as a practice. For instance, a medical data scientist might be able to predict the chance of tourists contracting malaria in developing the countries with greater than 98% accuracy. However, if these results are published in a poorly marketed journal and online mentions of the study are minimal, now their groundbreaking results that could potentially prevent deaths would never see the truth light of the day. For this reason, communication of result is arguably as important as the result themselves. So the famous example of poor management of distribution of result is the case of the Gregor Mendel. And Mendel is widely recognized as one of the founders of modern genetics. However, his results were not well adopted until after his death. So Mendel even sent them to Charles Darwin, who largely ignored Mendel's paper, which were written in unknown Moravian journals. So generally, there are two ways of presenting the results, either verbal and the visual. Of course, both verbal and the visual form of communication can be broken down into dozens of the subcategories, including slide decks, charts, journal papers, and even university lectures. So these techniques are also included in the communication. However, we can find the common elements of data presentation that can make anyone in the field more aware and effective in their communication skill. So now we will see communicate data driven insights internally. Nowadays, every organization spends a significant amount of time and money on data collection and analysis to gain valuable insights about their customer and the competitors. Definitely, when we have started our classes, at that time only I told that uh, if you want to collect data from different sources, and nowadays every organization is collecting the data from different sources, and every organization wants valuable insights, valuable data, which is very useful for their customers and which is very useful for their competitors. And all these efforts goes to waste if the insights gained are not communicated effectively within the organization. So every organization want to reach on the top. If that organization will not get the effectively communication, effectively the data, so at that time definitely there will be there will be the chances of losing. So data driven insights must be communicated so that every worker truly understand the data and can actively use the insights to boost their productivity and the output. But how do team leaders figure out what data is essential for their team from an extensive data set? How can managers ensure that workers get the right insights and integrate them into their work processes? This is where effective internal data communication becomes crucial. So we will learn some points which are very helpful to us. Now there are some points. Data visualization. Keep it interesting. The rule of three. Focus on takeaways. Encourage collaboration by using the diagrams and implement automation. Now we will see one by one. First one, data visualization. The flooding employees with tons of the data will just frustrate them and won't lead to improved work processes. However, providing insights to teams by visualizing the data via infographics, diagrams, charts makes it easy to digest, interpret, and act on. Generally, using data visualization, team leaders can understand and sort the data more effectively. Instead of wading through endless spreadsheet, they can disseminate insights essentially using the infographics and engaging the reports. So data visualization technique is very useful for us. By using the data visualization technique, it is very easy to digest, it is very easy to interpret, and after that we can take the result very easily. And that data, by using the data visualization, the here team leaders can understand very well, and they can sort out the data very effectively. And after find out the data very effectively, you are able to, that data they are able to keep in the spreadsheets. They can disseminate data, they can disseminate the insights efficiently by using the some tools. So for example, an infographic of the most frequently asked question can help the content team create good section, while report on what customers looked for the most can help the design team decide the order of the section. So this infographic from reply about the benefits of the email outreach optimization is greater visual representation of their inside data. And when you can clearly see all the data in front of you, it's easier to understand where and how it should be distributed. Now, second one is the keep it interesting. Insights must be delivered to employees in quick, concise, and more importantly, visually appealing ways. Now, long fully text email stuffed to the brim with information will turn off employees, with most of them not even bothering to write the whole thing. So if you want to do anything, if you want to do any experiment, so you have to keep the interest in that totally. Here you have to collect the data properly. That data you should understand very well. And most employees these days generally would rather read visually enticing statistical rundown like the below platform, stats for podcast platform, than be bombarded with paragraphs of text. And when employees can quickly read and understand the important information, they are more likely to feel involved and integrate relevant data into work practices. Now, moreover, enabling features like comments allows for quick employee feedback, makes them feel like they are being heard. Employees who say they feel part of the team are 2.3 times more likely to be engaged. And engaged employees are crucial for any team since they boost productivity and aid business growth. Now, the third one is the rule of three. Actually, the rule of three is a principle that is crucial in both communications and the writing. The principle capitalizes on the fact that 3 is the smallest number of items required to form the pattern. And the patterns are easier to digest and more memorable. So a list of 3 items is more likely to leave a lasting impact. You have probably seen the rule of 3 in action in your daily life, but you didn't recognize or you didn't notice that. Now, for example, Wave App, a free invoicing software provider for small businesses, uses the rule of 3 at the top of their site to highlight the benefits of their products. And you have probably seen lists like this in many places around you, including the airport terminals, slogans, and presentation. And using the rule of 3 to communicate insights is effective. Why it is very effective? Because employees are given essential information in bit-sized, which is very easy to understand for the users. Now next one is that focus on takeaways. Simply turning the data into visuals is not enough. And you need to hook the reader and keep them engaged. A great way to do this is to start with the end, and Home Care Toronto does an excellent job of this on their homepage. Now we can notice that how the website uses a few words for describing themselves, and the CTA button greets visitors when they enter. The rule of three is also used to highlight the benefits. Whether they are moved by the text or visuals, it entices them to keep reading and, more importantly, click on that CTA button. Now, similarly, when communicating data driven insights, start with the key takeaways that help your employees and expand of them further below. Now, encourage collaboration by using the diagrams. Whether you are in HR or marketing or healthcare, many projects require inter-team collaboration. And good internal collaboration becomes crucial in ensuring everyone is on the same page and that project goals are met. So here diagrams can make collaboration easier as a single image. Then we can say that chart or infographic can encapsulate the process and progress of the project. So by using diagram also you can communicate with the users. So domain mapping illustrates how diagrams lead to effective collaboration. As the name suggests, domain mapping identifies the different areas of a website and how visitors will move between them. Now this is the diagram where it is containing the some email parts. So in this scenario, actually using emails or chart, just we have to explain every area of website will complicate the process. But with the diagram, every team from content to marketing to web development will know exactly how their work relates to that of the other team. Thus, the data distribution becomes more efficient and complex information about the website is laid out neatly in single diagram. So each team can then work on their end to meet the objectives. So in this scenario, diagrams can help break down the complex information such that every employee understands their role and the goal. So if you are using the diagram, so it is very easy to understand. It is very easy to understand the role and the goals to employees also. So next one is that implement automation. The automation has become an essential tool to boost all business areas, and it's the same for data organization and distribution where many tasks become repetitive. Now consider the Joy Organics scenario. There are some numerous reports which is related to their live chart widget produced every month or week. So these reports generally lead to predictable set of the actions and the task. And instead of individually performing this task every time a report is produced, then companies can automate the task and integrate data simultaneously. Even better, you can streamline the entire process by setting up an automated workflow to make the data sharing easier and more precise. Now again we will take one of the example, that is Irish Solar Expert Active 8 Solar Energy Use Framework workflow automation software for speeding up the customer data collection and boosting internal communication between the on-site sales representative and the office staff. And there are plenty of automation solutions and tools out there to make the data distribution a breeze. So using these tools leads to better internal communication since team members no longer have to worry about the missed customer response forms, reports or any other type of the. So this is all about the communication. Here we have seen six effective methods which were the data visualization, where we will visualize our data by using the different charts, by using the different graphs like a line chart, scatter plot, bar plot, histogram. So by using this type of the diagram, we can visualize our data very interestingly. Then second one is that keep it interesting. Interesting means whatever you are doing, whatever you are uh, applying, whatever you are experimenting, you have to keep the interest with the particular that data. Then we have to use the rule of three. In rule of three, generally we have to use that. We have to use the communication and writing also. And here we can say that how much it will be impact on your result. Then here again we will highlight the only some software providers, so it will be very easy for us, and we can collect the data in the form of the bit size, so it will be very easy to understand for the users. Then we have seen that the focus on key takeaways, and here we are just turning a data into the visuals, and we are storing the data. We are using the data on home page, and we are changing some ideas, we are changing some data. Then we have seen that encourage collaboration by using the diagram. If you are using the diagram for the communication, so it will be very easy for you. It will be very easy to understand, and it will be very easy to uh, understand the different patterns of the data. And then last one is that implement automation. Here we have to predict the different action, we have to predict the different task. So these are the references. So you can go through these references. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.